Hi there everybody, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about cosine rule. Alright, so we're going to start off by looking at missing sides of a triangle. It doesn't have to be this time a right angle triangle, which is where we'd really apply the cosine rule. If it was a right angle triangle specifically, I probably wouldn't need this, but ultimately it's a formula that you will need to learn and apply, certainly for those people aiming for the higher GCSE and the top grades. Alright, so in order to find a missing side of any triangle, you need an angle and two sides. All right. Typically with a right angle triangle, obviously you can use Pythagoras or trigonometry because you've obviously got a 90-degree angle in there. But obviously if you don't have that, then you need basically this kind of information. All right, so you'll see from the diagram we've got A, B and C. Now it doesn't have to say A, B and C, and it probably won't say A, B and C, but in terms of a formula that you're going to come across, you need to understand why they're called A, B and C and what they're all going to stand for. So you'll notice all the sides are little letters and all the angles are big letters. Now the concentration of the cosine rule is actually the A. Okay, that's the big thing. The A and the little a. All right, the B and C, which are either side of the A, doesn't really matter, but they're the three we'll focus on. All right, so what you've got, so this is the cosine rule, you've got A squared, so that squared is equal to B squared plus C squared, so that squared plus that squared, minus 2 times these two times cos A. Okay, right, so let's have a look at an example in terms of applying that. So you've got a 27-degree angle here, that's the one you're after, and you've got these two either side. So what we are really focused on is what's A, what's B, and what's C. All right, well, if this is the angle, then that has to be capital A, and then this one here is little a. All right, and therefore these two need to be B and C. All right, so if we plug all those kind of things in there, so capital A is 27, B is 7, C is 9. It doesn't matter which way around these two are, and A is Y, and we put them in. So you've got Y squared equals 7 squared plus 9 squared minus 2 times 9 times 7 times cos 27, and all that bit there is all take away. All right, so 7 squared plus 9 is take away all that. All right, so we're going to put all, probably my calculator, but put all that into a bracket, which is going to give me 17.73. And again, you might want to try with this with your calculator, making sure you're getting that, and then square root it to give you 4.21. All right, so that'll probably need a bit of practice and a bit of kind of time on that. But we're going to look at angles as well while we're here. So missing angles, it's going to be the same formula but rearranged. All right, and you know, if you're working out an angle of any shape, so any triangle within a triangle, of course, then you need to have the other three sides essentially, because they're the three things. Remember, what you've got 4 pieces of information going into it, 3 that you need to know. And then with this one, because I'm working out the angle, and again, what I'm looking at is A, I need A, B, and C in order to do it. So taking the same formula, but rearranging it, gives you this. All right, so you've got 2 choices. You can practice rearranging it, or alternatively, you can learn this one as a separate one. So you've got cos A, and when we're working out an angle, I said we've covered this probably in trigonometry, but so if you're not quite sure about trigonometry, you probably want to look at that one in terms of how we work out this one and the inverse function of this one, but we will do it at the end. You've got B squared plus C squared minus A squared over 2BC. So let's label the things up, all right, in terms of my example. Right, well, the angle I'm after has to be A, all right, therefore the 6 must be the little a, all right, that's the most important bit. Those two have to be the correct ones, and therefore these two need to be your B and C. Okay, and again, it doesn't matter which the B and C are, but it does matter that that's the little a and that's the capital A. All right, so what we've got, let A equal W, which is there, little a equals 6, B is 7, and C is 9. So plugging those in, you've got cos W equals 9 squared plus 7 squared, so B and C. And you'll probably notice I've got those mixed up. You know, B is 7, C is 9. So swap them around, but again, it doesn't matter. Minus 6 squared divided by 2 times 9 times 7. All right, so cos W is 0.746. But of course, I want W, I want the angle. So when I'm doing the inverse of cos, I use my calculator. So I do shift cos, and that gives me cos to the minus 1 of 0.746, and whatever the rest of it is. So that goes into my calculator, and it's going to give me an angle of 41.75 degrees. All right, well, this is going to take a bit of practice. Certainly with the formulas, I would suggest you make notes and try and remember those kind of formulas over a sustained period of time. But please go to maths-school.co.uk. There's obviously a bunch of questions for there to kind of have practice. and obviously test your understanding. And obviously you can kind of come back to this video at any point. All right, thanks for listening.